Software forensics is the analysis of software source code, which is the human readable code that programmers write to make programs. Well, what my algorithms do is they divide the code up into pieces. So if you think of comparing a novel, for example, you can compare all the words of two different novels and see if any of the words match. What I found in software, which is very well defined, you divide it up into its elements and compare each set of elements separately, and then combine that whole comparison, and where you find even a little bit of similarity, you should look at it. One day, somebody called me up from a major law firm and said that there's a case they want me to work on, and they were going to give me every disk from every computer in the entire company, and I was going to compare it against some code that these students at Harvard had created to find out if any of the code at Harvard had been used by this company. And I remember hanging up the phone and telling my wife, wow, we just got the biggest case of my career, and this is going to pay a lot of money, and it's going to take a lot of my time, but the thing I'm worried about is I've never heard of this company. I don't know if they can pay. The company's called the Facebook. So the first major case that I worked on was the famous one, ConnectU v. Facebook, that was basically made into the film The Social Network. The Silicon Valley Napkin got its start in the early 80s. Compaq actually got started on the back of a napkin at a bar. And I thought, what if I made it easier for people? So I did that, and I had to order 100,000 napkins. I started marketing this, and it got a lot of publicity, but not many sales. And so at some point I just closed it down. And then years later I became involved with the Computer History Museum. And one day I was on the site and they had my napkin there, listed on the site. And what was funny, the history they had was wrong. And so I called them up because I knew the people there, and I said, this is really great, but this is my napkin, and I can give you the real story about it. So they changed the information on the napkin, put my name on it. They put it on the permanent exhibit, and when I go to the museum, I'm always introduced as the guy who invented the Silicon Valley napkin, and then suddenly everybody wants to talk to me. So I've realized that it may be the one thing that I'm actually going to be remembered for eternity. I'm hoping I'm remembered for software forensics, but you never know.